In this presentation I'm going to show you how to actually optimize your graphics ready for use on the website. So first of all, I've just got myself a little PowerPoint. I'll just minimize that. And optimizing graphics, you've got sort of three areas you can look at here. You can look at size, so that might be that you found a large image on the web and you need to resize it down to fit your website, and you'll need to do that in a graphic editing program like Fireworks or Paint.net. You might want to alter the proportion in terms of you might want a different shaped image to the one that you've started out with. Now you can't distort the images because that will show up and it will cost you marks with the moderator, so that's just not worth doing. So you need to probably crop your image. And the third thing you want to do is actually alter the file type and also the file quality settings to try and make your graphic files as small as possible so it speeds up loading. So I suggest that you get yourself a PowerPoint like this, which should actually be on Frog, so you can actually use this if you want, and just collect yourself some evidence of your different types of optimizing as you go through it, so that that's there ready for the moderator. Okay, I've got Fireworks loaded, and I've also got my image, and this is my image here. It's pulled from the web, and if we go to Properties, you will see that it is quite a large image. It is 4800 by 2754 pixels, so about 4 times the width of your screens in school. So obviously that's way too big, and I'm looking for a sort of just a shot of the front of the car, really, the front part of the car, that piece there, a square, to have as, let's say, a bit of a badge on my website, or a bit of just a bit of a graphic, almost like a button, I suppose you could say. So we need to optimize that. So Fireworks, let's get rid of that, and I'll open up the file. I think it was that one. There we go. And if I reduce the size so we can see it, so down to 12%, there we are. Okay, now first of all, the bit that I want is the sort of front bumper, headlamp cluster and front wheel of the car, and I want it roughly square because I've got a square gap, let's say 200 by 200 pixels in my website that I'd like to use. So what I'm going to do first of all is crop it, because obviously I only want that bit, and also the image is quite landscape. It's quite long, it's not so wide, or not so tall. It doesn't really fit the shape of the gap I've got for it in my website. So crop tool, and just drag like that and get it where you want it to be. There we go. So that's now cropped, and as you can see, the cropped area I grabbed was roughly square because I want the square image. So I've got roughly the right sort of shaped part of the image that I want. I've got the bit of the car that I need, but of course it's still huge. It's still 1400 pixels wide, which is, the width of a widescreen monitor. So I need to reduce it down. Let's say I wanted my actual image 200 by 200 pixels. So I'm going to have to resize that down now. So I go to Modify, Canvas, Image Size, and I'll type in 200 at the top there, and normally you'd have that constrained proportions on and the little padlocks here, which means that it keeps it in proportion. Now normally that's a good thing. In this particular case, I know that I got the cropped area near enough square, but it's not exactly square, so we're a little bit off there. So I need to take that off and type in 200. I only do this if you just need to adjust a very minor points here, so 200 in there. Don't do it if you're way off on your proportions. So there we go, 200 by 200 pixels. So now I'll zoom in, see what we've got. Let's go to 200%. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So now it's nearly ready to actually export. but I want to actually export it as the most efficient file type. So I'll click on File, Export Wizard, like we did in Unit 21, and we'll click on Continue. And I want to export it obviously for the web. Click on Continue, and it's telling me here what file formats. It's recommending GIF or JPEG. So I click on Exit, and we've got the Export Wizard. And what we can start to do here is click on Settings and go for a smaller file type. So as you can see there, this is the JPEG quality here, 3.99K. Let's put it back to the higher quality, 8.2K. So it's not huge in any case, but let's take it down to smaller file size. And of course under here you've got the GIF equivalent as well, so you can see what a GIF would look like. You can probably see there the JPEG's just slightly softer, and if I knock the quality down even further, you'll see it starting to get even softer still. So it's a case of getting the best combination of quality for the minimum file size. Let's up this to about 70. There we go. Okay, so that's looking reasonable. It's not too bad at all, and it's quite a nice small file type. As you can see, it's about a third of the file type, file size for the GIF. So I'll go with that one. So now I'm happy with that. I've altered that setting. Let's see if I can sharpen colour edges. Makes a minor difference. I think I'll leave that on. It's important just to get the odd screenshot of you doing this, so you can sort of almost plot a journey. And then we'll click on Export, and I'll call this Chevy Bel Air Thumb 1 because it's like a thumbnail, and click on Save. Make sure it's going into your images folder for your website. Click on Save, and that's it. Now we're done. So that's now exported. If I have a little look in here, there is my exported image, optimized, cropped, resized, ready to go.